Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So, Dan Wooten recently, as well as many other mainstream media places, actually interviewed Lucy Connolly, the woman who went to prison for 380 days for a tweet. Yes. And I've always felt with Harry and Meghan, but this is exactly what they would love to do to us. Instead, they've just been taking, well, I shouldn't say just, but they've been ripping down my YouTube channels as well, yeah, and other people's Twitter channels, basically killing them, putting them in jail outside of social media. But this woman actually did hard time, a young mother with a daughter, very young daughter, and I was wondering, is this how Harry feels about this? Is this, Harry and I suspect Harry and Meghan are gleeful about this. This is exactly what they would love. They have no sympathy for anyone, although they claim to care so much about children and mothers and all that. And here we have a young mother who has a young daughter in elementary school, I believe, very young. And they first time offense, has never been in trouble with the law. Turns out it was political because her husband is in politics and he's, I believe, a conservative. And the person who misrepresented her tweet at a different time, you know, uh, you can watch the interview and see that when she posted the tweet, it was before riots had begun, and then afterwards, a week later, riots had begun, and that's when they really cracking down on any inciting of violence and whatnot. And so her tweet was taken out of context by a political adversary who decided to use her to try to attack her husband, basically, through his wife posting something about the incident where three young girls were murdered, three by an illegal immigrant. So Harry and Meghan and Archwell have donated cooking classes to, among other things, I'm sure. But anyways, let's take a look at how Harry feels about a young British mother going with no criminal record whatsoever for posting a tweet and then removing it. She actually deleted it, an hour or two later. She realized she was speaking in the heat of the moment after hearing young children were killed and murdered. So here we go. How's Harry feel about this? How does he feel about young British mothers, young children that he claims to have with Meghan Markle? How does he feel about someone like her being sent to prison for almost, I think she was sentenced to 2 years, and I guess she served almost a year there, but quite a bit of time for a young mother to be sitting in a prison cell while murderers and rapists are freed. At the same time, this past weekend, there was a video of a young American man in Germany who got his nose almost cut off by an illegal immigrant who was trying to sexually assault a German woman. And they freed the guy, the illegal immigrant, right immediately after. They don't hold these people in prison at all. Uh, it's a takeover, it seems. And it seems that this is what Keir Starmer and the globalists and Harry and Meghan want. But is it? Is it what they want? Is this what they want to do to their own people? Is Harry proud of this? Is Harry happy with this, what he's doing to the British people, him and his buddies there? Because Keir Starmer's with Larry Fink and the globalists, the WEF. So are Harry and Meghan. So how's Harry really feeling about the Lucy Connolly story? Let's take a look. Let's crack open that thick skull and let's see. Is this what he wanted for us in the U.S.? Because he certainly seems to have been working towards it with his Aspen Institute disinformation, which is, these are communist words. All of this is communist, right? And Harry and Meghan, particularly Harry, has been pushing this. Apparently on behalf of King Charles, who has WEF buddies there with Klaus Schwab, and who has set off a 2030 clock in, I believe, London with a globalist mayor there, Sadiq Khan, I believe that's his name. Anyways, let's take a look here. How's Harry feel about a young British mother going to prison? being separated from her children. And this woman also, her child died. So before this, so she had a child who died, and that's part of the reason why she reacted very strongly to these children being murdered. So felt very strongly about it. So she had lost a previous child. Anyways, let's see here. Not a miscarriage like Megalodon, but not, she actually had, I believe, child was older. It's probably a vax death, if you ask me. I don't know. Didn't get to the details really, but I think they did cover it in the interview. They touched upon it. They really wanted us to. The whole point of making Lucy Connolly an example, of course, but there are many others like her, but is mainly to send a message, right, of fear, 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 right? That's what they always do, these tyrants. All right, so let's see. I think I've shuffled the cards enough. And well, my camera is staying on, but it's still acting up in a different way today. Maybe Harry's demons don't like me covering this topic. I don't know. So I don't know why it's not shutting down this time. It's staying up, but I'm getting some kind of interference here. Let me just put that back up. Yeah, so let's see if this will stay. Hopefully it'll stay. Here we go. Prince Harry, how's he feeling about Lucy Connolly's story? Let's see what the cards show. All right, general attitude. World. Wow. I think he's surprised that this became a worldwide story. And of course, I could also see the world card as a globalist card. Like this is a success for the globalists. And you got the Scorpio. Looks like Scorpio up here. That was probably Virgo. But I see it as Scorpio looking at it real quick, and transformation and death and oppression, control. Yeah. Yeah, it is Scorpio because we got these are the four signs of the angles, just portrayed a little bit differently than the normal world cards that threw me off for a second there. So yes, this caught my eye. This stood out to me when I asked this question, sort of like transforming and killing and um, power hungry, power and control. Um, so there's the scorpion sting there involved in this globalist agenda. So I think very positive first card I'm getting here. Let me fix my camera again. But I think that this is right on schedule with Harry and his globalist Nazi group want and are to instill this fear and punishment. So crossing it, oh, High Priestess, or the yeah, High Priestess here. So yeah, he's very secretive, not expressing anything. Of course, a very quiet card, a hidden card, being silent and still and seeing what happens. And I also see this sometimes as a spell work kind of card. So I think that this was a win for, there's a demonic element in all of this as well with communism in general. It's very evil and satanic, not just in how it is, but it just really, there is evil demonic influence in all of it, all that, what they do. So I do think that this was some sort of ritual sacrifice in a way, and that this was used. She was used as the energy of it was somehow used by the globalists, by Harry, in some sort of ritual. So we have two major arcanas here. So I'm getting the idea of group activities, secret group activities of globalists behind it, which is no surprise because this is the globalist group behind Stammer. Stammer has admitted that he listens to WEF. He doesn't listen to his own, government politicians there. So yes, I do think that secretly Harry and his clan, his group there, his disinformation, his commissioner of disinformation, misinformation, Harry, the commie, was behind this, basically. So they were pulling the strings behind this, and they were pulling Stammer's strings because when she was arrested, Stammer came out and said, and made the announcement, people are going to be held accountable. They're going to be remanded, or arrested. So he was telling the police basically with that statement, like, yes, you go and arrest people. So, of course, that came straight from the globalists. So this was a globalist initiated action is what I'm getting at. And Harry is well aware of that, and he's a part of that globalist action that's happening. Then we get the Nine of Wands reversed. So I see a collapsing here and not being able to defend yourself. I think Harry, again, is being very quiet about it. He's like, this is Harry hiding behind his, his blinds here at home. He's hiding at home on this topic. And while he is watching it closely, he's hiding and not saying anything. So, because he knows he can't defend this, he knows this is indefensible, and he's not going to try to, because he knows everything he does is evil and wrong and shouldn't be happening. And he's doing it anyways. And but he knows he's not going to try to defend it. He's going to pretend like he's not involved when I think he's directly involved, actually, with these cards, with his group. Queen of Cups at the bottom, motherhood, his mother. I think they purposely chose a mother to use as an example. From the beginning, Harry and Meghan have been attacking middle-aged white women. Even before they left the UK, they outed and doxed some middle-aged, not just white women, but middle-aged women of all colors were doxed on, I believe it was the Mirror newspaper, where they said, oh, look at this woman, so-and-so, she works as a caretaker, and she said Meghan is ugly, and they outed them all their comments that they had posted about Meghan, the insults they had put out, and they put a picture of these women and their name and what they did for a living, obviously to get them to lose their jobs and to be shamed and harassed was the point of it. And Harry and Meghan were obviously behind this, because you'll never in a million years get me to believe anyone else would have thought to dox private citizens like that. So that was the beginning. That was in 2019. And then, of course, we got the Netflix with Christopher Boozy, the criminal, and his criminal gang of Satanists called the Sussex Squad. And they came out against, quote, middle-aged white women, right? So going after women in particular, Prince Harry and his globalist group want to do, and I assume it's because mostly women talk more than men in general, because there are definite differences between the genders. Men and women are very different, and one of those differences in general is that in general women are more talkative and communicative, and we're the ones online calling out this BS. I'm not saying men don't do it, but women do a lot more talking. And I think also, Harry is misogynist, and he likes the idea of attacking these women like his mother. It's sort of revenge. I think there's a bit of revenge in Harry against his mother for leaving him. He, on some level, an unconscious level, it's like she left him, and there's going to be some anger there. So I do think Harry has some anger, particularly amongst older women, slightly older women. I don't really think, I don't know how old Lucy Connolly is, but I think she's about the same age as Harry, maybe even younger. I don't know. But whatever, against mothers, sort of revenge. I think Harry's really got a thing against women in general. And this attack was targeted to women and mothers. They wanted to choose a housewife to so that it would scare everyone to think, wow, if they're even going to go after this harmless housewife, they'll go after anybody. So she was purposely targeted. Did Harry know this was coming? It kind of answers my question there. But I get, King of Pentacles reversed. Oh, he knew, and he again was being evil. I take this, King of Pentacles as the Harry card. There's him with all your taxpayer dollars and USA money, living a lap of luxury, flying his private jets everywhere for his safety, of course. I don't think it's my camera again. Now, I just fixed my camera. It was working perfectly. And, I'm telling you that the evil influences around Harry and Meghan just distort the electric field. You know what I mean? They don't like the truth coming out in any way, shape, or form, even with a tarot reading, But yeah, I got this evil Harry here with the King of Pentacles reversed, being abusive, being trying to be over controlling, trying to destructive to a society, destructive and harmful. And I think he is using, I also see this as him using his mother's magical energies, with the rituals they do, the Satanists. So, with the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups, I do think that there was some magic done, some evil spell work to conjure this up. But let's see, what was Harry expecting from this? Was he expecting this to catapult him into, maybe arresting Americans or others and, growing the communist totalitarianism? Oh, Four of Swords here. Yeah. So, yeah, Harry is also, he is going to Harry's bringing in the same censorship that they're attacking Lucy Connolly with, but he's doing it through, guess what? Okay, so I take this card, what he expected and what he expects to do, and I see this, of course, as a military type of card. You can also look at it as a death card as well. But the first thing I thought of was the military Invictus and NATO and all the military connections that Harry has, and with this, the Five Eyes, and in attacking people, while supporting the UN troops being portrayed as illegal immigrants. These illegal immigrants that are using boats bought and paid for by BlackRock, to be brought over. So obviously a whole operation that Harry is very much involved with and knows about. And that's his angle of it. I'm very aware of the plans with Lucy Connolly and the way she was chosen and the fact that she was chosen because she's a young mother, actually. So what did he not like about the whole Lucy Connolly situation? What did he not like? Knight of Wands. So Knight of Wands, I see this as over the top attacking in the media. So, he doesn't like people's posts, voicing their opinions if they're negative on the media, on the social media. He certainly doesn't like seeing her being interviewed by everyone. That's going to bother him as well. Because, of course, the whole point of this was to scare everyone into silence. And instead, it's only emboldened her to get her interviewed by more and more people. Yeah. And what's he like about the situation? Oh, Two of Swords. Yeah, shutting her up, shutting up people, silencing people, stopping them from expressing themselves is, of course, what he wants, what he hopes for. This is exactly, he wants to stop you all, cut you off on X, right? X, Twitter X. He's keeping a close eye on X accounts. I've noticed everyone's being closely monitored. And one angry post, and they're gonna be moving to action with Harry here with his military buddies, Chris Krebs and all the rest. So how does Lucy Connolly? How does she herself affect Harry? How does she influence him? See, he just sees her as prisoner, and could look at this as he couldn't care less. He just sees her as another useless eater peasant, who, rightfully in Harry's mind, was put in, chained up, was in prison. You could also look at this as Harry sees her as a ball and chain, that she's going to drag back his work in censoring and silencing people on X and YouTube, social media, basically. But minor arcana here. So he doesn't really care. He doesn't really care about anyone. So no, but I do see that he's not upset at all. He is, I think, quite content and happy with the globalist agenda being pushed here, and that he is remaining secret with his evil satanic buddies about it. So what's he going to do next? What's the next reaction of Harry after this? Of course, Eight of Wands. So putting out the puff pieces. Ridiculous number of puff pieces out now. There is a story out I was going to cover about the fact that the Heritage Foundation is still going to court over that visa. It's not over. It's definitely not over. And it came out in the investigation that Harry is being closely monitored by many different agencies in America. And many say that's Harry should be alarmed for whatever. He is a royal family member, so will there ever be justice in dealing with him? Probably not on a legal level, but he is being closely monitored. So the puff pieces, anyways, I see him trying to drown this story out with puff pieces like, about him and Megalodon and this, that, the other, a divorce, a hidden daughter, pregnancy, whatever they can come up with. They're throwing all the shizzle to distract from this story. They certainly don't want to. You notice how Harry and Meghan never have anything to say about these significant events, even though they want to be in politics and be directly involved, but they don't want to have to answer about their opinions on anything or respond to anything about it. Even though Harry is directly involved with a censorship group, he has nothing to say about Lucy Connolly. He doesn't know who, what, where. He's going to play dumb, right? So, very good at playing dumb. I'll give him that. So the end result of all this, Five of Wands. So the battle will continue. He's not going to stop what he's doing, and he's going to continue attacking people online with his Sussex Squad, the terrorist group, and with the help of NATO and the other people, the military people. And he's going to use and abuse Invictus people in particular to push his cause of censorship through, childhood safety, BS, and all of that. So I do see that being his avenue, using the men in the military and getting their data with his Better Up scam app that he has, in my opinion, just to get people their data and use and abuse them to push his censorship regime. So I see it continuing. So Harry has no sympathy for this woman. She was indeed a target of the globalist group. They had a satanic ceremony and they chose to sacrifice a young mother like Princess Diana with young children. Harry is being evil and despotic as usual, and he's going to continue, with his nonsense in the media and ignoring the situation. I think that he did like this. He enjoyed this. He thinks that she deserved to go to prison. He loved that. And he is going to continue his work in abusing people in the public, even though he knows it's a despicable, evil thing for him to do. Yeah. Very, very evil man. So there you have it. So I hope you found this interesting. If so, please like and subscribe. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.